Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Kurt, and good evening, everybody. Jeff, Cate, Justin Sims once again coming to you live from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week. Final score, Cleveland scores 29 unanswered points to defeat Walker Valley 51-23, and big second half there for the Blue Raiders, and had a lot of output from a lot of great guys and on both sides of the ball. We're actually be joined here in just a matter of moments. Give me 1 second here, guys. Sorry about that. Brayden Carroll is going to be joining us here live on the scene coming up here in just a matter of moments. But, again, just want to thank everybody for tuning into this, another edition of Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics, right here on the Talk Monster 102.3. And let's go ahead and bring him on, Justin Sims, and that is Brayden Carroll, number 2 in the program and number 1 on the field, helping be number 1 on the field here for the Cleveland Blue Raiders football team. And Brayden, congrats on the win, man. Kind of talk about just your performance. I think 3 touchdowns for you on the night. So kind of talk about what you guys did well, and scoring those 29 unanswered points in the second half was definitely a big thing against Walker Valley.
Right, so I feel like we just came out with so much intensity and energy in the first quarter. And then second quarter, we started being undisciplined, making mistakes. And I talked to my guys. I said, bro, the game's not over until the clock hits 0. And we just came out with the same intensity that we did in the first quarter. My line was blocking great, giving me great holes to hit, and that's about it.
Obviously, you beat a crosstown rival. You beat them. You score 51. Is any better winning 51 or winning by 1? Does it matter, or do you enjoy it a little bit more that you put a 50 burger up on them?
Man, it was going to be great anyways. Anyway, we've been talking about this ever since the loss last year. This has been on our calendar for forever. Coach has been talking about it, harping on it, and we just came out and did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, Coach Chandler Tygard came on our program this past Tuesday night, and he said it was 362 days. So you could just tell you guys were just marking the days off the calendar until 365 tonight. So, Walker Valley came back. You guys got up 22-0. Came back to make it 23-22.
Right.
Talk about what was being said in the huddle on the sidelines there, and obviously whatever happened or whatever was said did the trick. I mean, 51 total points, 29 unanswered.
Well, really, me and my cousin AJ, number 0. We huddled the defense up. We said we got to step up. The offense is making mistakes. We're going to step up. We're going to get the stops that we need to win the game.
Yeah, you talk about that. The 51 points was nice, but AJ was living in the backfield. Y'all made big plays. You got the turnover when it mattered down there near the end. Just kind of talk about that defense ever a little bit more.
Really, my cousin AJ, he's a dog. He sets the defense every play. He's in the backfield every play, and we just got to make plays in the secondary, and he's going to do everything.
Okay, so obviously, for Coach Tygard's second year here, you're a junior, so you were a sophomore last year. Kind of talk about the year 1 to year 2 for you, as far as what you guys have improved on, or just doing what you guys do.
Well, really having a new coach last year. Year 1's always going to be kind of rough, bumps and everything. But when we hit the summertime, our seniors took over. They said they want to win a state championship, and we're going to do what we need to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So, again, Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23. Brayden Carroll, we want to thank you so much, man, for coming over here, spend a few minutes with us. Congrats on the win, and continued success for the rest of the season, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Justin Sims, definitely a big piece of that Cleveland offensive attack there. 3 touchdowns for Mr. Carroll there on the night in the big 51-23 victory for the Blue Raiders over Walker Valley. And as he mentioned, like we had Coach Tygard on the program on Tuesday night on Off the Bench Radio. You could tell they're definitely counting down the days, because like I just mentioned with him, he brought up, I think, the 362 days mark at least 2 or 3 times during that interview. So obviously meant something to him, meant something to everybody wearing blue and red here at Cleveland High School for sure.
Yeah, both teams obviously they always want it, and I know it's crazy to say when you see a 51 point put up, but this was a tough game, and until that last few minutes, Walker Valley was in it, and we told Coach, I know he didn't want to hear it, Coach Akins, but they put up a heck of a fight, and you felt like Cleveland was in a dogfight, even though it was a 51-point output for the Blue Raiders. But yeah, just a great overall atmosphere game, and plenty of guys stepped up, so it was a lot of fun.
Before we dive right back into the conversation here, I want to tell all the fine folks out there about our overtime partner for the season. That is 12 Point Logistics. They're based in Dayton, Tennessee, and if you're looking for a comprehensive freight solution, then 12 Point Logistics and Transportation is your trusted partner for such. Whether you're looking for expert transportation management, seamless brokerage services, or specialized big and bulky final mile deliveries, they've got you covered. Their white glove delivery service includes professional installation and warehousing options tailored to meet your needs. 12 Point Logistics prides themselves on turning your logistical challenges into streamlined, efficient solutions. 12 Point Logistics, they buy your problems and deliver the solutions, ensuring your business runs smoothly from start to finish. If you're ready to solve your logistics challenges, definitely give Gunnar Miller and his team at 12 Point Logistics a call at 423-206-9235. You can also visit them online at 12pointlogistics.com. So, Justin, definitely a good partner there. Obviously, Gunnar Miller, we mentioned it before, gave everything he had underneath these Friday night lights when he was at East Ridge, and when he played for the Chattanooga Mocs, and now in the squared circle every now and again as the people's captain. So definitely, solid guy, local guy, and so him and this local. It's good to have local partners like that with this Coca-Cola Red Zone program in this edition of Overtime for sure.
Yeah, we say it all the time. All of our partners are local, and just a phone call away, text message away, and they always get back to you from 97 Sports, and again, 12 Point Logistics and Gunner, just a local guy, Chattanooga born, Chattanooga bred, and I'm sure when he dies, he'll be Chattanooga dead.
Final score once again from our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week right here on the Coca-Cola Red Zone. Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23. Justin, before we brought Brayden Carroll on the program here, we mentioned a little bit with him, that first half, we saw that 22-0 just onslaught there from Cleveland, but you're thinking, okay, so what's going to happen here? Walker Valley obviously settles down. They were able to get the next 23 points on the board. Definitely a game of streaks, right? 22 to begin with Cleveland, 23 straight for Walker Valley, and then the final 29 for the Blue Raiders here. So a lot of offensive output, a lot of big defensive plays, and some special teams as well with the block punt there to set up a touchdown there for the Blue Raiders. So all three phases definitely contributed tonight for the Blue Raiders as they move on to 3-0.
Like I said, it was wild to think a 28-point victory felt like a fist fight, but it really did. Walker Valley made a heck of a fight out of it. Down two captains to injury. And one of them being Zeke, who's just an absolute stud in the backfield. But they stepped up. They put a battle out there. They came up with some trickeration. Definitely check out Jeff Cate and my content on X, and you'll see just kind of how both teams had to come up with some creative ways to get in the end zone.
Let's throw it back to the studio here real quick. We got a couple of callers coming on. I think Quake's going to be calling in from the Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week as well coming up. But again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week, Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23. And in the next segment, guys, we're going to be joined by winning Cleveland head football coach Chandler Tygard. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Looking forward to that. Jeff, Justin, thank you very much. 267-1023. Quaker!
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
What's going on, big guy?
Well, it's a little bit sluggish in our game of the week for Friday Night Rivals, but the Red Bank takes a 9-0 lead into the half, and then Josiah Featherstone explodes along with that Red Bank offense, and they were able to put some scores together, put the ends a couple times, and they end up with a 36-0 win over East Ridge. That's just watching East Ridge, I can't imagine how frustrated they are, coaches, players, everything. They have not scored a point all season long. This is the third game that they've been shut out. And they've got players starting now. They've got, put 2 or 3 plays together, and then they'll have a holding call. Or they'll have, it's just like as soon as they started to see themselves do something good, it was, 1 step forward, 2 steps back or whatever. So just frustrating for East Ridge, but a big win for Ted Gatewood and Red Bank as they bounce back after a surprising win. Not necessarily surprising that Red County won, but in the way they did last week, 35-7. So I thought they had a bit of a hangover in that first half, and then they bounced back and exploded in the second half.
Yeah, it looks like it. And like you said, what little bit I got to see there on the CW Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, it looked like East Ridge was able to move the ball a little bit, but then just every time I looked up, it just it didn't accumulate in any points for the Pioneers.
No, they weren't able to move the ball. They've got speed on the outside. They just couldn't, be, I guess, continuity is the word I'm looking for. They just could not find any continuity. And Red Bank, because they were so, trying to prove that they're a better football team than they were last Friday night, that's a tough one to go up against and try to get a win. And it was, like I said, it was a close game, really the whole first half, and then Red Bank just explodes with a big second half, and Eastridge have no answer.
Well, all right, Quake, appreciate the phone call. Did a great job there, Friday Night Rivals and CW, and, of course, you do a great job all the time here on the Talk Monster and 102.3.
This is the first time I've gotten to hear y'all, and y'all are doing a great job. So keep it up, and it's just fun getting those scores and listening to Cate and Cindy talk about that big Cleveland win. So
hey,
y'all have a great weekend. I appreciate
tell
you.
my friend Chris Goforth I said hello.
So I just found out tonight that he was your professor at Chattanooga State, Natalie.
He absolutely was. I was the only girl in Professor Goforth's class, sports media, sports broadcasting,
Right.
and I was the highest grade. Did he tell you that part? I was the highest grade.
No, he didn't. So congratulations.
Well,
that does not
thank you.
surprise me as much as I know about you. That is not a shocker at all.
I love
And
Chris Goforth.
you overcame Professor Goforth to get a seat in the sports realm covering high school football. So that's good.
He is wonderful. Absolutely. Tell him I said hi.
He's a pretty good guy. I will for sure.
All right, Quake, thanks, buddy.
All right, have a great weekend.
You
Thanks,
too.
y'all.
Quake, appreciate him calling in. He was calling in there on the Warren and Griffin 5-Star Hotline, and we appreciate everything Warren and Griffin does, as well as Coca-Cola Center for Sports Medicine, and great clips as well. But we'll hit a scoreboard, we'll take a break, and then, like we said, we'll go back to our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week and Red Zone Overtime as Jeff Cate and Justin Sims are there on scene, and they will have live and in living color an update, a chit-chat with winning head coach from Cleveland, Coach Chandler Tygard. So you'll want to stay tuned for that, and we'll go right back out to them. But first, a scoreboard. Let's give some finals. And if you're looking for some games still in progress, just go to redzonescores.com. Redzonescores.com. You'll see that big scoreboard with all the finals and all the games still in progress there. Cleveland wins our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week, 51-23. Boyd Buchanan gets the win over CAK tonight, 41-21. Maryville blanks Bradley Central, 38-0. Chattanooga Prep shuts out Brainerd, 43-0. Grundy County gets the win over Lookout Valley, 54-0. Ray County rolls to their second win in a row, 35-14. They defeat Knox Central. Knox Grace gets the win over Chattanooga Christian, 36-32. Silverdale, my Seahawks, roll over Knox Webb in a tough game, 25-21. Seahawks get it done. Notre Dame gets a win over Lakeway Christian, 14-7. That final. Tyner gets a win over McMinn County. Darren Hodges updating us on this game via Twitter. Tyner up 22-14 in overtime. McMinn County scores. Tyner stuffs them on the 2-point conversion attempt to get the win. So Tyner, 2-point victory, 22-20 Ram Train roll. Hickson defeats Ooltewah tonight, 43-12. We have got Red Bank blanking East Ridge, as Quake just told you, 36-0. And again, if you're looking for some scores of some games still in action, redzonescores.com. Natalie, what's happening in Georgia?
We got a final here, 35-13. They are at Rayburn County. They took on Dalton tonight. That game is official. Heritage, they were traveling to Gordon Lee, just right up the street, but Gordon Lee took the win, 38-28. Another final game, Ridgeland was at Coosa, 28-0, with Coosa taking the W on that one. Still in progress, Cartersville at Calhoun, 21-3, with Cartersville up there. My LFO Warriors, we're still losing to North Murray, 13-7. And the last I checked, Brockman, they're at Ringgold, but Ringgold is losing 10-0.
All right, we'll come back. We'll hit any updates, and then we'll go back to Jeff and Justin. They'll have victorious Cleveland head coach Chandler Tygard coming up after this on the Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, WGOW.
Welcome back to Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics right here on Talk 102.3. And Jeff, Cate, Justin Sims coming back to you live from Benny Monroe Stadium. Again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week, Cleveland 51 and Walker Valley 23. And now we are pleased to be joined by the victorious head coach of the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and that is Chandler Tygard. And Coach, thank you for hanging out and waiting to come on with us. But we appreciate the time, and congrats on the win. Just give us your overall thoughts. Definitely, we mentioned before we came on here, it seemed like it was a game of runs. You guys got out 22-0. They scored 23 unanswered. Then you guys scored the final 29 to get the big win here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's high school football, though. So
that's true.
You're constantly seeing these waves of momentum, and, resiliency is one of our core values that we've been talking a lot about in the offseason and start the season. And last year's team wouldn't have overcome that run that Walker Valley made. They probably would have been freaking out in the locker room and us having to calm them down. Where this year's team, that's where you see the big difference in year two, is you've got some leaders stepping up. We don't even name captains, but, I mean, they literally just step up. It's your A.J. Westfield and Brayden Carroll and Isaiah Davis and Jayon Smith and Reggie Hubbard, Stonewall Charette, Big Nate Carter, Aiden Smith, Sam Sarton, all these guys. And so we're just a really close team. We've come together a lot in 2 years or year and a half or whatever it's been. And, we just focused on us at halftime, and then we went on another 29 run just as we, should have done the whole game.
It's always easy for us in the news media to talk about the points and the touchdowns, but talk a little bit about that defense. It seemed like for the most part they were living in the backfield, and AJ had a heck of a game. Just kind of talk.
Yeah, defense played great. Coach Maines does a great job. Coach Bohannon, Coach Jones, Coach Stalkup over there. They haven't gotten enough credit this year. I mean, we graduated 10 starters, so there's only one. AJ's the only starter that came back, and we had to retool everything, and we've actually gotten better in every statistical category. The kids are more physical. They just, I think a lot of it just has to do with buy-in, and last year had a ton of seniors that were great kids, but it's just when you have a new coach, it's really hard to get senior buy-in, and so graduation, came, and the next thing you know, we've got a lot of kids that believe in our coaches. And the defense has done great all season. That's why you hadn't seen as many onside kicks as last year. That's why we actually punt the ball a little more, because we're playing so well on defense, so then you can play more traditional style football.
I mean, the first punt, I believe, of the game was like early in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I had to show you exactly kind of how the defense and the special teams were. So you're listening to Cleveland head football coach Chandler Tygard joining us right here on Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics, right here on Talk 102.3. And we asked we asked Brayden here earlier, when Walker Valley took the lead 23-22, kind of what the message was. They pretty much just went to each other and say, hey, we got this. We just got to step up. As coaches, what were you telling your team? Obviously that's a big thing to overcome. You're thinking, okay, they may struggle and then get over the hump. But like you mentioned, this team might not have responded as well last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had some adversity in the Clinton game in the third quarter where they pulled it close and then we blew it open. Same thing happened against McMahon County. I got down to a 7-point game. And, again, same thing happened. We gave it to Isaiah, and he took off. And then it happened again here. So, I mean, you got to be resilient. We have to be resilient when we step on the field because we're going to have less players than every team we play against for the most part. And then when these teams go on runs or we screw it up, we had 3 turnovers in the first half and 100 yards of penalties in the first half. Like, the game, no wonder it's close, right? We're just handing them the ball. We gave them basically 2 touchdowns. Where if we can eliminate those, we've got a chance to be pretty special from an athlete standpoint, and from our offensive line having 4 out of 5 seniors that have played a lot of football, and then our D-line just led by A.J. Westfield is just so strong. It's very hard to run on those guys.
Yeah, you talk about kind of getting those kids in. Just talk about you kind of flipped quarterbacks a little bit tonight, but you were able, because of the score, to ride the quarterback down the stretch. Just talk about the importance of getting them in there and getting some snaps.
Well, the big thing, guys, is, we played 3 quarterbacks in the scrimmages, and nobody really separated themselves. We had 3 kids that we liked, though. Just because you have 1 or 2 or 3 doesn't mean that they're all bad. I mean, I think we've shown now, like, Cash went over to Bradley Central, but he did a great job here while he was here. And then Chase Stevens had a great game in the first, especially in the Clinton game and against McMahon County. And then now Casey McGowan comes in this game, and y'all see what kind of arm talent he has.
Threw like 2 major bombs.
Nice. Yeah, the sky's the limit. He loves the deep ball, but he's young. He's a sophomore. Chase is a junior, and we're still building. I mean, Brayden Carroll, AJ, Reggie, they're all juniors. Martavius is a sophomore. There's a bunch of young talent, and that we put a lot of emphasis on the freshman team last year. We brought that back for the first time in, I believe, 8 years, and they play a full JV schedule. So our JV team did great. They won Monday night against McMahon County. Our freshman team won against Meigs County's JV 48-0, playing another JV team, having to step up in competition. So we're just trying to build it the real old-school way, year to year, and I think we're slowly starting to make some progress.
We mentioned this throughout our updates throughout the night, and you could hear in the background, whether it was the DJ cranking out the tunes, the Macho Man saying, oh, yeah, it was third down for defense, right? You had that built in. That was a nice touch, by the way.
Yeah.
So, for people that were not here, but they could hear it, right here on the Talk Monster, talk about the home environment, obviously, because, you mentioned on Tuesday night when you talked with us and off the bench, the lights were, a big addition. The scoreboard's definitely a big thing. Kind of talk about just everything coming together and definitely a showcase here tonight against Walker Valley. For sure.
This is the vision. So, when they called us and wanted our staff to come down here, this is, we basically said, hey, are y'all sure y'all want to do all this? Because it's a lot. Because we've always had DJs, we've always done different things or WWE themes or whatever it is. Like, we just try to have a good time and make the kids have a fun experience. But this place is special. So when we walked around the field the first time, me and my wife, we saw the bones with the jumbotron and the turf field, and we knew that we were already having discussions about LED lights, and we just saw the bones are here. And if you put a DJ here, and if you do these things, and hey, we can repaint the field house. And we took the old head coach's office out, and I gave it away, and we made it a players' lounge, barber shop, and my wife's feeding kids out of that office. So we're just trying to make it an awesome experience, as everyone does, but we just kind of have different ideas on how it is, and we wanted it to be a college-like game. And I think between the Walker Valley band that's so good, our band, the music, it felt like a college game tonight, and these kids will remember that one for a while.
Both student sections were on point, too, as well. I heard those trash cans mounted on that railing a lot tonight, so they definitely made their presence known and, helped you guys. The home field advantage definitely showed up here tonight at Benny Monroe Stadium. But, again, final score, Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23. Coach, thank you so much for waiting on us, taking the time to join us, and good luck next week against Farragut. Back in the region play, and it's where it counts.
Yeah, that's a big one because, you got to win that one to get in the playoffs. That was a big win last year. So they're very well coached, good team, over 100 players. So we'll have to go to work on Sunday.
All right, Coach, thank you again.
Thanks, guys. Go Raiders.
So much, Coach.
All right, let's throw it back to the studio there. But, again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week, Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Coach Chandler Tygard, as he gets the win. Him and his Blue Raiders get the win tonight in our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week over Walker Valley. Let's go to Nature Boy. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Kurt Daly. How y'all doing?
Hey, bud.
Good.
Well, we did have a good night tonight, and I got to talk to Quake for a little bit before we left. I stayed for the whole game, like I promised Dave.
You told him you would.
Yeah, I told him I would, but it was bad officiating tonight, Kurt. I mean, really bad.
The Zebras were on your nerves tonight, pal?
Yes, I almost threw my hat out of the field, but I didn't.
That's mad right there.
Yeah, but I do have a question for you and Allie, if y'all can answer this for me.
Okay, bud.
What do y'all think about the new kickoff formation in the NFL?
I think that for entertainment purposes, it's not very good. I think for safety purposes, I'm all for it. But it just it's going to take some getting used to. I'm not going to. I don't know yet. I'm inconclusive. So far, I don't like it, but I'm gonna hold my opinion until I see it a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I'm watching a replay of Baltimore and Kansas City. I like the original way. What do you think, Natalie? Do you have an opinion or what?
I'm only in NFL for Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only, I was pulling for the Ravens because our boss here at Cumulus Media is Mr. John Lewis, and he's a big Ravens fan. But, I was also pulling for Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and I only saw the clips where she was in it. Mm-hmm. So,
Well,
that's all you need.
I was going to let y'all know that Taylor has been texting me, and she told me she loved me more than him. So.
Well, you just make sure you be a good guy. That's all I'm worried about, Nature Boy.
I know, and I appreciate that, Kurt. Oh, and how did Pepperell do tonight?
Let me see. Coosa did well. Let me see if I can find a Pepperell score for you. Coosa got the win 28-0. I do know that one for a fact.
Wow, that is cool.
And then let me, you hang on, and before we hit this next break, I'll find that Pepperell score for you. All right?
Okay.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you, Natalie.
Bye.
See you, bud.
Bye.
Nature Boy there. All right. We'll give you that final scoreboard here coming up soon. We got all finals. I got a Pepperell score to hunt for, and we got to go back out to Jeff and Justin on our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week, that Warren and Griffin hotline, because this is the Coca-Cola Overtime.
Thank you very much, Kurt. And, while you're looking for that Pepperell score, I just got to say officiating in a 36-0 game definitely played a part. I know you feel the same way, don't you?
The Zebras had to put their fingerprints on that one, sounds to me like.
Justin, I think you feel the same way, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't give it all to the Zebras, but they probably accounted for 32 of those 35 points.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I agree.
easily.
That's easily, for sure. So, again, this is Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics, right here on the Talk Monster 102.3. Jeff, Cate, Justin Sims coming to you live once again from our Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week. And you heard all of our updates throughout this game, Justin, on the Warren & Griffin 5-Star Hotline. So thank you to Warren & Griffin for that, and all of our sponsors for doing what they do and helping us and allowing us to do what we do. So, again, final score was Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23. I want to thank Brayden Carroll, number 2 junior for Cleveland, and head coach Chandler Tygard for coming over to our broadcast position right here on the track right after that big win. You could tell it meant a lot to both of those guys and just the whole community, Justin Sims. But, there were some surprises across the area. We're looking through RedZoneScores.com and, saw Darren Hodges. I want to give a shout-out to Darren, keeping us updated about that Tyner game, man. Coming back and or just hanging on to beat McMinn County. That's a big win for them. Big win. Those home games are being played at Ottawa High School, so definitely I guess a good, quote, first home game there for the Ram Train as they get their first win of the season. Well,
yeah, we said it on the tail end of Sport Talk. We felt like Dade County was the best 0-2 team last week, and this week we thought that Tyner was that team, and they proved it. That's a huge win. We've been saying it all year that this is a good Tyner team, and they proved it, and that's a quality win, and they're going to take it the rest of the way and watch that Tyner Ram Train. They may be back in the big dance here at the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely congratulations to Coach Christian Maynor and the entire staff and players over there for the Ram Train over there at Tyner. So, just, of course, no surprise here, Justin. It looks like Marion County shut out another opponent, so that's 3 straight games. All 3 games they've shut out their opponent, 35-0 over Central tonight. No surprise there. That goes to show kind of how special this Marion County team is going to be. And one that stuck out to me, Silverdale coming back. They were down against Knox Webb at home. They come back in the fourth quarter, get a big 25-21 victory. So one of Kurt Tucker's teams in the Bird family, the Seahawks there at Silverdale. Congratulations to Coach Mike Connor and everybody there at SBA for that big win over Knox Webb, because Knox Webb is a very tough physical football team in that Division II AA East region.
Yeah, first win, sorry to cut you off because we did get something on the text line earlier. Silverdale, first win in school history over Knox Webb for the Seahawks. So wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah, that's a big bag. You mentioned it, Jeff, Cate. This Marion County team, we've seen good teams, we've seen great teams. This Marion County team, without having seen them, they're special. They're just that much better. Another shutout. I mean, this may be the hunt for points against Marion County. I don't know that they're going to get challenged. And a statement game for me for Chat Prep over Brainerd. They didn't make it close. I think they've shown their separation and they're showing they're legit. And then with the South, I'm still going to be hyping this game. South Pittsburgh with a shutout on Copper Basin.
There you go.
Chat Prep with the thing. You circle that 10-18, folks. Chat Prep and South Pitt. I'm excited for that one.
And I think that's a week where a lot of the school systems are on fall break, so that could be a Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week option. We'll definitely find out come October. But Kurt, I heard you say this at the end of Sport Talk. Keeping the Signal Mountain train or Momentum train not being mentioned on air. Shout out to Coach Mariakis and the Eagles. I think undefeated once again, 3-0 on the year. Big win against Sequoia on the road tonight. So I think we're going to throw it back to the studio for the final scoreboard. And again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week: Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23.
All right, Jeff, Justin, great job there, guys. We appreciate everything you do. We will hit a final scoreboard here. And again, RedZoneScores.com. RedZoneScores.com, that big scoreboard is there, getting updated, getting all the finals in there for you. So if you got any questions, you can go take a look at it, but we'll tell you here. But again, RedZoneScores.com. And, of course, at the Jeff Cate on Twitter and at JL Simsey on Twitter if you want to go see some of the videos and breakdowns they had from our Center for Sports Medicine Game of the Week. They do a great job out there. Final scoreboard for you. All finals here in the state of Tennessee. All finals. Let's go. Center for Sports Medicine Orthopedics Game of the Week. Cleveland defeats Walker Valley tonight, 51-23. That final. Boyd Buchanan gets the win over CAK, 41-21. Maryville gets the win over Bradley Central, 38-0. Chat Prep blanks Brainerd, 43-0. Baylor gets the win over Coconut Creek out of Florida, 49-21. South Pittsburgh shuts out Copper Basin 48-0. East Hamilton gets the win over Franklin County 30-6. Grace Academy defeats Innovation Academy 41-6. Grundy County shuts out Lookout Valley 54-0. Meigs County gets the win over Kingston 48-13. Ray County wins their second game in a row as they defeat Knox Central 35-14. Knox Grace gets a win over CCS 36-32. Silverdale defeats Knox Webb, their first win over Knox Webb in school history. Seahawks roll 25-21 in that one. Notre Dame defeats Lakeway Christian this evening. Marion County gets the shutout win over Central 35-0. And as Jeff and Justin mentioned, third straight shutout to begin the season for the Warriors in Marion County. Tyner gets a big win over McMinn County 22-20. Hickson gets a win over Ottawa 43-12. McMinn Central defeats Polk County 35-16. Red Bank shuts out East Ridge 36-0. We got Howard with a 30-0 win over Republic. Bledsoe County defeats Sale Creek tonight 49-8. Whitwell gets the win over Joe Burns 49-7. Loudon defeats Soddy Daisy 34-21 that final. And as Jeff mentioned, Mark Mariakis leads Signal Mountain to a 3-0 start, their first one since 2021, as Signal Mountain defeats Sequoia tonight 49-14.
My LFO Warriors, they took an L tonight. They were traveling to North Murray 21-7. That's the final there. Dalton versus Rayburn. Rayburn took the win here tonight 35-13. Another final, Model. They were traveling to Tryon, but Tryon took the W 22-12. Rockmart, they were traveling to Ringgold, but Rockmart took the win 23-20. Another one, Chattooga, a big one, versus Mount Zion. Chattooga took the win 45-20, and Union County 49. They took on Murray County tonight, who only scored 6.
Let's hit a final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up. We will be with you next week, of course, 8 to 11 here on the Talk Monster and the Coca-Cola Red Zone. This is week 3. This is WGOW. This is Talk Radio.
And for anybody that's just now getting in the car, wherever you're intending a Friday night football game here, I want to thank you for joining us for Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics. Again, final score from our Center for Sports Medicine North Pitt's Game of the Week. Cleveland scores 29 unanswered points to get the 51-23 victory over Walker Valley. Justin Sims, final thoughts.
Like I said, it's not often you see a 51 up there and it feel like a close game, a 21-point game, but it was a slugfest. It was a fun rivalry, great environment, 2 great coach teams and 2 programs that are going to be, I think, trending up moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. And, for Walker Valley, obviously looking to, kind of rebound from tonight. Definitely a festive yet intense environment for both of these teams, but it looked like it was very well played. Didn't see, a lot of, egregious personal fouls or anything like that. There was a few face masks, but I think that, they were just trying to continue the play right there. So it's definitely a great night here at Benny Monroe Stadium. I want to thank Al Morris, the athletic director here at Cleveland High School, Coach Chandler Tygard, and everybody involved with Cleveland for assisting us and allowing us to set up right here for Coca-Cola Red Zone Overtime, powered by 12 Point Logistics. And again, if you are ready to solve your logistics challenges as a business owner, call Gunnar Miller and his team at 12 Point Logistics at 423-206-9235 or visit them online at 12pointlogistics.com. We will announce our Center for Sports Medicine North Pitt's Game of the Week probably by Sunday afternoon, so definitely stay tuned for that. Follow us on all socials at Red Zone Scores or RedZoneScores.com, at the Jeff Cate, and at JL Simsey. So, again, guys, for the final time here from our Center for Sports Medicine North Pitt's Game of the Week at Benny Monroe Stadium on the campus of Cleveland High School, Cleveland 51, Walker Valley 23.